Thanks for having me. Happy Bowtie Friday, everybody. So I think we're at this, and I keep saying this, there's this inflection point, I think, with tooling in the Ethereum space where some of the original tools kind of got the job done, but they were kind of hard to use or didn't make sense to a new person. And there are, you'll notice some tools that we present today, there actually existed a tool to do somewhat similar things before, but it only really got like 70% of the way. And for someone to take on the challenge of basically having to start from zero, but get it more to like 90 or 95% is a heck of an undertaking. And these guys that are on this call today, guys and gals, they deserve basically a lot of credit for pushing it that extra distance. And it's for you guys, it's for us, it's for the builders to be able to take those tools, pick them up and run with them and actually have a great experience. The space is already so complicated that if you're dealing with headaches with your tools, it just makes it just such a hill to climb. And so a huge thanks to the guys and girls here that are helping out. It's easy to only go the 70%. And I really want to stress the fact that these guys that took it to 90% really have created some great tools for you, and they're going to present them today. I'm really excited about this. And I was going to get rich and I was going to write a white paper and I was going to kick everyone's ass. And it just doesn't work that way. Like the space is incredibly complicated and you have to understand that you don't know everything. And these guys and gals are here to help you kind of get over that hump, both get up the hump, but also get down and understand that there is like some serious complexity here, but these tools are going to make it a lot easier for you. So then Robin, this is a fun one. So Robin and his partner created kind of a React hook generator library for ETH Global for the hackathon. So that shows that like some of these, there's a lot of room for more tools to come in here and new players to come in. And I think you're funded by the Norwegian government to create open source tooling around Ethereum, which is like so exciting for us that we get like the Norwegian government helping us build tools, and then our tools can also kind of help you build your thing.
So I think Robin is next.
Yeah, so we created this plugin based in the Ethers hackathon, ETH Online hackathon. And we just give a quick introduction of us. I'm Robin from Symfoni in Norway. We are a small company. We are researching researching if composability in public services in Norway is possible. So we're trying to find out if we can like build on each other in public services instead of like end-to-end integrations. So we created this plugin to both use in our own projects, but also to meet expectations from Java and C# developers, which are who come new to the Web2 space. So they are used to working with like in the backend or in front end working with backend. They are used to working with statically typed libraries. So we were like trying to give the same experience with this plugin. So you've seen this plugin is using Hardhat and Hardhat Deploy and Ethers. So if you're like using that and want to create a front end, I think this is something that we can make your iterations a little bit faster and a little bit easier. So what is Hardhat React? So to start with, we are just a small plugin that you drop into your Hardhat project. So it requires all these other plugins also. So this can be like your smart contract engine. With those, you can build a full smart contract project. But then many people want to like create a web client to interact with those smart contracts that you are making. And then suddenly you have to consider, so when you're in a web client, like how do I get the smart contracts I created in Hardhat into the front end? How do I get the smart contract at this last address I just deployed at? Oh, I need a browser provider. Should I connect to MetaMask? And I know if I need some funds, because we have a different account, how do I do that? And like I created a lot of Solidity functions. What are their names? So this tech stack helps with all of this, like type chain, which are typed smart contracts, it's TypeScript smart contract. They help with all this, but we just like help them and put it into the into your React frontend. So the backend process is pretty smooth. We just wanted to make the front-end process as quick as possible to iterate. So our goal was to like have you can import one contract, use the function, and assess the response. So so that's our goal. And if we can make also the front-end code more portable, so you can like swap it between projects, like for example a Uniswap button, that is also pretty cool. So how do we do it? As said, this hard hat or backend runtime generates, like you're creating Solidity files, you're generating ABIs, which are like and then you're generating TypeScript files, which are for like or type chain files, you can call it, which are the typed interfaces for your smart contracts. You have deployments files. Those explain where the contract now lives. And you have also the hard hat config where you set up your network and providers. So we just take all of that and generate code to make our React context, which you just can use in your front end. So you don't have to think so much about all of this. You can just add the plugin and do it, and then you get the context ready. So so how do you get started? Just like create a hard hat project. So and if in the standard and in the standard hard hat project, you get this greeting Solidity file. So you can start with that, so you do that and you install the Hard Hat React plugin, which is a plugin into Hard Hat. So you just add that in. Add it in it's the tutorial online. You can check the npm website, and then add that in and run npx hard hat node watch, which is kind of the same thing which Pauline just did. It just starts up the hard hat environment, like the node, the blockchain, which is your local development environment. So it starts up that, and then the watch is from Ronin's hard hat deploy, which watches every changes you do in your smart contract files. And if you do a change, it redeploys them to your local development chain. And then we hook into that and also do the React generation when that happens. So I think actually it's a GIF. Yeah. Do you see the GIF?
Yep, it's going.
So this is just very simple, just what you are supposed to see. So you set up the or the smart contract project, then you need to use it in your front end. So and we generated this React context file. So just import that, wrap all the components that needs access to your smart contracts into this, and there are also there are some things going behind the scene here, like how do you like loading providers, like Rickmo told about, provider signer. We can configure our hard hat product with different providers. So and we help with injecting that in correct way and helping you with handling providers and handling signers. So it does all that. It loads the contracts, getting you those typed interfaces into your TypeScript project, and it also does some things around handling provider change. So you wrapped your front-end app into this, and now we can like use it in a component. So let's say we are creating a greeter component from this greeter contract. We just import the greeter context, and we use that context, and suddenly we have access to the greeter factory, which we can deploy our contract. We have access to the instance where we can call all the functions, and as you also see here, everything is typed. So like you say, it's show there, when we deploy the greeting, it says that, oh, it needs a greeting and that needs to be a string. And when we and the result from the instance.greet function, it's like, oh, you're getting a string back. And that's also nice if you like you're working with numbers, because oh, it's a big number, and then ethers and type chain takes care of all that. Like, oh, it's a big number, and you have these functions to convert it to a string or convert it to a number. So you get all that nice stuff, which helps you, and it tells you if you're because it's TypeScript, it tells you if you're wrong. So, and also, yeah. So, and there's also a lot, I think I have to be quick now, but it's also a lot about how we try to help you with getting a development provider and signer up into the front end. So we use Web3 model, which is another great library we build upon so that you can put in or support many wallets. And you can also like shove in your hard hat provider as a HTTP provider, and it will also, you can also like, you see that you can inject. We have added a configuration that like, okay, you can, I know this is unsafe. I want to inject my provider into the front-end app, and then you have a browser wallet. So you don't, when you're working with this, you don't have to sign all the transactions in your MetaMask, like because you're testing out things. So it can be nice. It's also the priority. It can also be used as a fallback kind of thing. So if the user doesn't have a Web3 model or a Web3 model can't find anything, it will like try the next one and push that in as provider. So that's also nice for like reading. If you don't have a signer, you can just use a provider without a signer, and you can read the blockchain and those things. Yeah. So as I said, it's hooked on deploy. Hard at deploy from Ronin, which is a great library. So it's that triggers when you edit your solidifiers, it regenerates, and then we also regenerate our React context, and you get all the updates. So if you used a function in your front end and you changed it in solidify, and then the regenerate run, the front end will now tell you, hey, this function doesn't exist anymore, so please change it. So yeah, check out the plugin. It's in npm. You find it on the Hard Hat org site. Also, if you want to get up really quickly, there's a boilerplate which you can use, which it's a pre-configured Hard Hat environment, so nothing special. Yeah, and here's a little very sped up movie of the whole thing. Probably got the same thing. Yeah, so that's me. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That was super informative. Austin, you have a question?
I was just going to say, kind of leaning into the fact that this was an ETH Global Hackathon project, and this was something that was built out of a need that you guys had. Any advice you would give to up and coming tool builders?
Oh, tool builders. I think like Ronin and the Hard Hat guys will be so much better to answer that. But yeah, there's a lot of edge cases for everything, so things take more time than you expect. I think that's my yeah. But if for a challenge, like you challenge everyone, and a fun challenge could be like if you start with the boilerplate and just throw in your favorite contract like Uniswap or anything else. So maybe some will fail, but you will just get this front-end interface, and you can use it and try to create a React application and use all the functions, and everything will be typed, so you can just work in the front-end. So try that. I think it would be cool to see some tries on that.